Alrighty. Yo, what's up, guys? Kyle here. Couple things I want to talk about. I know I've been talking about like main event matches going into WrestleMania. I've done Rock Cena, Lesnar, and Tripp. This one's going to be on Swagger and ADR. I want to say CM Punk and Undertaker for last because that's the match that I want to see out of all the matches on this card. That's the only one that it has interest to me, that makes me interested in, or that I have interest in, is the Punk Taker. So I'm going to save that one for last. So this one here is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio. Ever since Swagger came back repackaged with Zeb Coulter, who I believe is they not only hired as a manager for Swagger, but I think he's also hired as one of the main writers for Raw, I believe. But anyway, which I think is cool because Zeb Coulter's I think he's a good writer. Not one of my favorite bookers of all time, but he's good. He's good. He used to work with Kevin Sullivan, and he's worked with Vince Russo and other people in the past, Jim Cornette. But anyway, let's get on topic. What I'll talk about is ADR versus Swagger. This is probably, I think, the one of the four main events. I think a lot of people kind of overlook a little bit. I know some people say that this has to be the weakest. I heard some people make statements saying this has to be the weakest World Heavyweight Championship match going into WrestleMania, like ever of all time. Some people agree, others disagree. In my opinion, I won't say it's the strongest World Heavyweight title match going into WrestleMania, but in my opinion, I really don't think it's the weakest because, in my opinion, I look at it this way. You have ADR and you have Jack Swagger, two future young talents that need a push and that need to be in that spot because, I mean, there's only so much only so many years WWE can rely on the Rocks, the Rocks, the Undertakers, the Triple H's, the Chris Jerichos to headline, WrestleMania. They need that young talent that they need to push and put in those spots, even if they might not have made a lot of investment in that talent. Those spots need to be filled for that young talent for them to invest in and to move forward. So in my opinion, I think ADR and Jack Swagger being the spot that they're in, I'm fine with it because it's some young, new, fresh talent that needs that push, that next generation that needs that push very badly. I think the story is very interesting. Some people say it's kind of feel flat because after a while, Zeb Coulter just kind of saying the same thing, which I can understand. But to me, it's still interesting, intriguing. I still find it funny, him making fun and whatnot. Alberto Del Rio, I think, has looked like a strong world champion. When Del Rio became a world champion back in maybe, I think it was like the second to third week in January, I was saying to myself, like, how are they going to make Del Rio look like a credible champion with a 2-month reign going into WrestleMania? But surprisingly, within the 2-month reign he's had the belt, he looks like a strong, credible world champion, going into WrestleMania. This is the strongest I've seen Del Rio, I'll probably say ever, since after he won the Royal Rumble back in 2010. This is probably the strongest, 2010. This is probably like the strongest I've seen him. 2011 that I've seen Del Rio be. Now, who's going to win this match? I really don't know. A lot of people thought that going in at first, it might have been Jack Swagger. Saying he got this big, huge push out of nowhere. But since he got the whole DUI thing, now a lot of people think that as punishment for that DUI, they probably just changed their minds on Swagger getting the belt, which I can understand that. I think, in my opinion, I think this could be one of those matches that could be a good match, but I think this would be a match that could be good, but one that a lot of people probably wouldn't expect to be good. I don't think it's going to be a show stealer. There are other matches on the card I think that could take that spot. That could be a show stealer. This isn't going to be a show stealer, but I think it's going to be one of those matches on the card that a lot of people won't expect to be good, but it will turn out to be a pretty decent to good match. One thing I probably say I don't like about this feud is ADR. ADR's mic skills are not great at all whatsoever. I don't really like the fact, I mean, if they want to make him to this super Latino wrestler, that's cool, that's fine. But I don't like the fact that they're kind of trying to make him like the next Eddie Guerrero in terms of being like just that beloved Latino wrestler that everyone loves and clingers to. It kind of feels like to me that WWE sometimes are trying to do that with ADR, trying to make him like Eddie Guerrero in that aspect. And it's like, if you try to do that, you're going to fail. Because nobody's going to be like Eddie Guerrero, ever, and have that connection that Eddie had, or personality. I hate the parody promos that they do of Swagger and Coulter. It's terrible. They really need to stop that. It's not fun. It's not entertaining. Like in the last 2 years, this could be the opening match for WrestleMania. If it is the opening match for WrestleMania, I very seriously doubt it if Dolph Ziggler will cash in his briefcase. If it's later during the match, later on in the card, maybe like in the middle somewhere, I could see Dolph Ziggler possibly cashing in Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania, which I think would just be freaking awesome, and I hope they do it. But all in all, this is the one feud, along with Punk and Taker, that I am interested in, because one, it's a match we have not seen before. It's a repeat. It's not a repeat like the other two main events. It's a new match we haven't seen before, and also it's two of their young stars in the spot that they're in, going on the biggest stage, the lights on bright. And I think that's something I've been pandering for years to WWE to do, is to take that young talent and put them on with the lights on bright in that big spot. And this is just one of those small steps of them doing that. So you guys let me know what you think of ADR versus Jack Swagger at WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who do you think would win? Who would you like to win? What are your thoughts on the feud going into Mania in 2 weeks? Comment, subscribe. Peace.